Hello, my name's Rob Murphy and I'm going to be taking you through a typical DCP creation using Qube Master Express. So firstly, for our video files we can use any AVI movie file or WMV. We can also create sequences using JPEGs or bitmaps. So what I'm going to do first is go through a JPEG. So you can see here we've got our Qube Master Express open. We've got our authorization dongle plugged into the machine that we're running off, and that will stop us from getting a Qube Master watermark bouncing all over the screen when we're finished. So that must be in place. So we've got a couple of we've got a little movie here and a JPEG. So let's start with that. So you just simply pick up the file that you're going to use, dump it on the top there. Firstly, you can see up at the top here we have a 1:8:5 aspect ratio and a scope. And you can see it changes when I flick between them. So let's stay on the 1:8:5 for the moment. Now we'll look at cropping when I get to the movie file, I think, but so in here you can see there's the representation of what we're looking at there. That's our file. So let's say we want it to run for 5 seconds. And let's say we want to have more than one still there. So we'll pick up another one. We'll drop it on there. It appears next to it. So on and so forth. So each of those files will now hold for 5 seconds. I've just put that in there. And let's say we're going to dissolve between the two of them. And we're going to make the transition time of that dissolve to be 2 seconds. Now also here we have an option for adding sound. So if we have a sound file sitting elsewhere, an AIFF, a WAV file, whatever, we can flick the sound button there and then we can choose where that file might exist. But we don't have one right now, so I'm going to just turn that off. So it's just going to be a silent sequence. Right, so now that's all loaded up, I'm going to show you the rest of the process using the movie file. So let's go back to the first step again. Our open Windows, so let's pick up our little MOV movie here, drop that on the front. Right, so now here we have our 1:8:5, our aspect ratios again. So let's start with, this is obviously a scope shaped movie, but it can be any shape, and we can change the cropping and the size of the image in these windows here. So we can scroll up and down the movie here to get a better frame to work with. There's one now, so let's say, okay, that's going to crop the top using these little scissor sliders here. So I'm going to blow that up, crop the sides off, and make it fit a 1:8:5 frame perfectly. And there we go. Okay, so that's where 1:8:5. Let's have a look at the scope one. Fits perfectly, as I said, because it's a scope shaped movie. Now on the side here we just need to make sure that sound is selected. That's going to use the sound that belongs to the file. So there's this little settings tab down the bottom here. We'll just go in there quickly and have a look, but in most situations you won't need to touch anything in here. Yes, we have to be on progressive scan, and these settings here are for colour space adjustment, but like I said, it's very rare that you'll need to go in there. So we'll leave that alone. Right, okay, so now we've set up our cropping on both frames. Let's move ahead. So now this window. So we're working with this one here. This is the last window. So we're going to call that, firstly put the name up the top here. So it's a sun opener. I usually put things in caps and put an underscore between them. There we go, that's all you need to put in that top section. Now we move down to the type. You can see here we can choose a feature, policy, short. This simply manages the way that Qube Master Express will handle the rest of the information that your server will need to identify it. So this is going to be, let's make this a short film. So choose short, country that we're working in, which is Australia. Language is English, of course, we don't really need to touch that. Now if we're working with a stereo mixed file, you can check this box here to put silence across the rest of your tracks. So down the bottom here now, because we've lined up to make both a flat and a scope version, we can uncheck either of these just to make one or the other. We've got both selected. So you can see here we've got the name, sun opener, the designation is short, it's flat, and then the rest of the information that we need there, 2K, for your server to understand what it is. So now we need to create a folder to put, because the DCP is made up of more than one file, we need to put it in a folder so we can contain it. So we'll just go off to the side here, we'll make a new folder and we'll call it the same thing. Now this folder is how you will see the DCP sitting on your media storage unit or wherever you decide to hold it. The Cinema server that you're using will show the DCP as this designation down the bottom here. But to put it in a folder and put the folder on the server where an operator can see it, you need to call it something that gives you just the information that you need to know. So we're giving it the name, Sun Opener. I'm putting underscores between everything again, and we're putting the type of designation, so it's SHR, it's a short, another underscore, and because I'm putting both the flat and scope version in the same folder, I'm going to put F/S, flat and scope. So as I said, that's just the folder so that the operator can see what's in the folder, but the server unit itself will see it as this name down here. Okay, so we've named our folder. Now let's go and point CubeMaster at that folder. So we click on this button here, and there it is, Sun Opener, short, flat and scope. So I click on that. The name destination is down here, and we're ready to go. We hit begin. Our little progress indicator will appear down the bottom here, and a time, little green lines moving. When the progress bar is finished, a window will appear to say that the DCP is complete. So there you have it, CubeMaster Express.